In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful Savior, Master of this day in judgment upon which we now live. To thee alone do we serve. To thee alone do we beseech for thy help. O Allah, guide us on the right path, the path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed thy favors, and not the path of those upon whom thy wrath has been brought down, and nor those who go astray after hearing thy teaching. Ameen. You may take your seats, brothers and sisters. Once again, assalamu alaikum. Welcome tonight here at Muhammad Mosque number 4 for the International Albinism Awareness Day. And of course, you know that this has been a long planning event by our dearly beloved sister here, Sister Qiyamah Muhammad. Let's give her a round of applause. All praise is due to Allah. Tonight, of course, you do know there are many parts of this program tonight. I'm not going to take a lot of time myself. I just want to give a small introduction. Of course, this is a very special night for the Nation of Islam to be able to make a stand on her behalf in terms of what she's going to present tonight. Also a special night for the believers of Muhammad Mosque number 4 who are present. And there are some of the believers from Muhammad Mosque number 6 that are on their way that should be present. Also, there's some right here from Muhammad Mosque number 24, all the way from Richmond, Virginia. Give them a round of applause. All praise is due to Allah. And of course, this is a special night for the Honorable Minister Farrakhan to address this particular special day, International Albinism Awareness Day, that this will help us to understand, most of all, more of the particulars that goes on with our beloved brothers and sisters in the albino community in terms of how they live and how they have come up. Also tonight, I'd like to thank, again, our brothers and sisters. Of course, you know that I have an experience myself that coming up early in my life, I have a sibling that I don't talk much about. I tried to get him to come here tonight, but he couldn't make it. He's working now. But he is albino. And he was born June 14th, 1962. Tomorrow will be his birthday. He is on the screen now. That's my youngest brother. Believe it or not, that's him. So I had experience coming up with him, with my brother and my sister, in terms of how we had to always look out for my brother. Many times, and we had to go places, he was always approached by people, you know, making fun of him. Is this your white brother? Is this your white so-and-so and so-and-so? So a lot of times, certain things had to take place, and we had to just straighten out some matters. But most of all, for all the years working with him, loving him, this is my blood brother, this is my youngest brother, I love him to death. His name is Darren, Brother Darren. All praise is due to Allah. So, I think I've said enough. We want to get the program moving right along. I'd like to bring up to the podium the family of Sister Qiyamah Muhammad, Brother Anthony Muhammad, her father, Sister Angela Muhammad, her beloved mother, and their son and her brother, Brother Asad Muhammad. Let's bring them up on the podium. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. I'd like to greet you all, brothers and sisters, in the greeting words of peace and of paradise. Assalamu alaikum. I just wanted to, first of all, thank everyone for showing up today, being a part of this special program. I'm representing our family for a few moments just to talk. I want to talk briefly about the circumstances surrounding the birth of our daughter, Qiyamah, and how it all ties into where we are today. First of all, let me introduce my wife, Sister Angela R. Muhammad, Qiyamah's mother, and Qiyamah's big brother, Asad Muhammad. And of course, the main reason why we're here today are my daughter, Sister Qiyamah Muhammad. So I wanted to share this real quick because it's very important. Back in 1998, in April, Sister Angela, my wife Angie, she was pregnant with a girl, and we had already named her while my wife was pregnant. Her name was Amira Asada Muhammad. However, when she was 8 months pregnant, we actually attended the mosque service on a Sunday, and Minister Farrakhan came to that service and spoke. This is shortly after Brother Qadir, not too long after Brother Qadir was installed as the minister here in Washington, D.C. And in that particular lecture, he touched on the loss of your baby and how you shouldn't fall apart at the loss of your child. And I didn't know the significance of what he was saying, but that very next week, Angie and I'm calling Angie because I'm not supposed to say Sister Angela, this is my wife, right? So I'm calling Angie, okay? So Angie and I went to the doctor for a routine checkup, and the doctor said he couldn't find a heartbeat. So at 8 months pregnant, Amira had passed away in the womb. So needless to say, we were devastated. We had a stillborn daughter. We were struggling with how to deal with this. I wanted to mention this because Brother Qadir, who just came in front of you before we came up, he immediately came to our home, sat with us, and prayed with us, and comforted us from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan at the loss of our daughter in April of 1998. It was April 28th, 1998, where Amira was stillborn. I'm mentioning those things because if she had been born, we doubt that Qiyamah would have been born, because Qiyamah was born on April 13th, 1999. And it was only by the grace of Allah that we were able to, with the help of Brother Qadir, with the help of Minister Farrakhan, with the help of studying as believers, we turned to the 19th surah, which is called Maryam, which is the mother of Jesus. And in the section 23 is called Hard Trials Are Necessary to Establish Truth. And that section begins by saying that the believers seek assistance through patience and prayer. So that helped us through that particular time. So I'm saying that to say, as Amira passed away, room was made for Qiyamah to be born. And what's interesting about her is that we named her before we knew, we knew she was going to be a girl, but we named her, I went to the Quran, the 75th surah, which is called Qiyamah, and me being a young brother in the nation, I didn't know how to pronounce it properly, so I said, oh, that's Qiyamah. And that sounds like a good name for a girl, a baby girl. So we named our daughter Qiyamah, not knowing that the actual pronunciation was Qiyamah. Now, the significance of that is the 75th surah of the Quran is translated as the resurrection. If you look at the footnotes in the 75th surah of the Quran, it talks about resurrection is being represented by a phoenix bird. And the phoenix bird dies, and then it rises again from its own ashes, right? So Angie and I discussed how we felt like that Qiyamah would be one that would represent her sister, being born again through her, and that she's rising from the ashes of her sisters passing away. Now, I'm wrapping this up. So now, at this point, when she's being born, she comes out the womb, and the doctor said, quick, anybody got a camera? Come take a picture, right? And we were like wondering, why does he want us to take a picture? So I was with my wife, and I came around, and Qiyamah had the doctor's instrument in her hand. And as she was coming out of the womb, she was holding it in her hand with a clenched fist, right? So she was really strong coming out of the womb. She's strong now. So that's why he wanted to take the picture. But then a silence came over everybody because she had this blonde hair, okay, and the beautiful skin that she had. So they took her. I didn't know what was going on at first. I didn't know she was albino at first. I thought, she needed to get under the heat lamp, you know what I mean, and, darken up a little bit. I didn't know. And her hair was blonde, so I thought maybe something needed to be washed out of her hair, to make it dark. But then we realized she was, in fact, an albino girl. And the nurses commented to us, they said, wow, we spend $60 to get our hair to look like that, So it was a very surreal experience, but we felt it was a very necessary and spiritual experience when it came to our daughter coming to birth. So I just wanted to share that real quick. I want to thank you all for allowing this opportunity, and I will use that as an introduction for Sister Qiyamah to take the podium. Let's please give my daughter, his sister, your niece, a warm round of applause. Sister Qiyamah Amira Muhammad.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak. I am Qiyamah Muhammad, as my father mentioned. I am the founder of Confident Albino Brothers and Sisters. We would like to thank you officially and welcome you to the 3rd Annual International Albinism Awareness Day. The theme for this year is Shine the Light, and Confident Albino Brothers and Sisters is hosting our conference right here at Muhammad Mosque number 4 to bring awareness to the successes and struggles of our albino community here, not only in America, but throughout the world too. This day is special to me because I am a Muslim. I am a student, daughter, niece, a granddaughter, a young black woman, and why yes, I am albino. I thank Allah, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, for blessing us all to be here. I thank Allah for the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and his representative, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, from whom we will be honored to see and hear via the video conference later on in the program. I would also like to thank our student Mid-Atlantic Regional Minister, Brother Abdul Qadir Muhammad, the student regional laborers, and the believers for supporting us and helping to bring this event here. And of course, I'd like to thank my family for supporting me and helping bring this event to fruition. Now, some of you may be wondering, what is albinism? Albinism is an inherited condition that is genetic and reduces the amount of melanin pigment not only in the skin, but hair and our eyes. Albinism occurs in all racial and ethnic groups throughout the world. This condition affects an estimated 1 in 17,000 people globally. In sub-Saharan Africa, the rate of albinism is around 1 in 5,000, but in Europe and America, it is closer to 1 in 20,000. Most children with albinism are born from parents who have normal hair and eye color for their ethnic backgrounds. Now, why is it important to have an International Albinism Awareness Day? People with albinism face multiple forms of discrimination worldwide that is still profoundly misunderstood, not only socially, but also medically. The physical appearances of persons with albinism is often the object of erroneous beliefs and myths, often influenced by superstition, which foster their marginalization and social exclusion. This leads to various forms of stigma and prejudices. In some community, these myths and beliefs that are heavily influenced by superstition put the security and lives of albinos all over the world at constant risk. These beliefs and myths are centuries old and are represented in cultural attitude and practices everywhere. On December 18, 2014, the General Assembly of the United Nations in New York adopted a resolution proclaiming, with effect from 2015, June 13th as International Albinism Awareness Day. June 13th, it was chosen because it was on this day in 2013 that the United Nations adopted its first ever resolution on albinism. Now, as we've mentioned earlier, I'm the founder of Confident Albino Brothers and Sisters. But what exactly is Confident Albino Brothers and Sisters? Well, my organization, I started it when I was 16. And I started it to not only help those with albinism that has low self-esteem, but to also bring awareness to the plight of albinos all around the world. You may not know this, but in certain parts of Africa, people with albinism are often attacked, mutilated, and killed for the belief that their bodies contain magical properties. My goal is to help lessen and help take away the prejudices, myths, and misconceptions some may have about albinos. Here are a few of the myths that people believe about albinos. One is that it's contagious. Two, albinism is either a curse or a punishment given to us. Three, people with albinism are less intelligent. Four, all of us have red eyes. Five, people with albinism all have white skin and white hair. Six, that we are all evil. Seven, people with albinism can cure HIV. Everyone should be aware that these myths, they're all inaccurate and not true. Recently, a very popular speaker in the conscious community was seen in a video using the word albino in a derogatory way. The word was used to make another black person feel less than who he was and to mock his looks. It was used to make fun and belittle someone who is a light-skinned black man, and he was not albino. I grew up in a family who encouraged me to embrace my differences. They encouraged me to love my blonde hair, why my eyes move back and forth, and why I can't stand in the sun too long. They taught me that through the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that all colors come from black. And myself and my albino brothers and sisters, we are all prime examples of that. Now, I want you all to know about a project that we are currently working on. It's called Why Yes, I'm Albino. It's a video challenge campaign. Through social media, albinos from all over the world in different communities have submitted and are continuing to submit their videos saying their name, where they're from, and why yes, I'm albino. This campaign is to take back the word albino and show that there's nothing wrong with being albino. We post these videos on our Facebook and Instagram. And now, let's take a look at our campaign, Why Yes, I'm Albino.
Peace and blessings, everyone. My name is Qiyamah, the founder of Confident Albino Brothers and Sisters. And what I want you to know is that, why yes, I'm albino. This is a challenge for my albino brothers and sisters to say your name, where you're from, and to say, why yes, you're albino.
From South Africa. Why yes, I am albino.
Yes, my name is Simeon James. I'm originally from Nigeria, and I live in Arizona. I go to Arizona State University. I'm a biology major, and why yes, I am albino.
Hey, my name is Ejike. I'm from Nigeria, and why yes, I'm albino.
Hi, I am Hadama. I live in Paris. I am 28. Why? Yes, I am albino.
Hello, my name is Michaela Bounds. I live in Jackson, Mississippi, and why yes, I am albino.
Hi, my name is Ali. I'm from Nigeria, and why yes, I am albino.
Hey guys, how are you? I'm Alex. I'm from Boston. Why yes, I am albino.
Nix, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and yes, I am albino.
Yay! Hey, my name's Ashana. I'm from London, England, and yes, I am albino.
Coucou, je suis Astrid et je suis fière d'être albinos parce que je suis fière d'être moi, tout simplement. Hey, I'm Astrid and I'm proud to be albinos because I'm proud to be me. That's simple.
My name is Ainaya Wanakalam Okata. I am 21 years young. I am of Nigerian heritage. And yes, I am albino.
Hey everybody, my name is Brianna Thomas and I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And why yes, I am albino and I love it.
My name is Clayton Bennett. I'm 27 from Richmond, Indiana. And why yes, I am albino.
Hi, my name is Dominique. I'm 18 years old from Little Rock, Arkansas, and why yes, I am an albino.
My name is Kokane Suzuki. I am Nigerian, and why yes, I'm albino.
Hi everyone, my name is Ellie. I am from England. I'm 21 years old, and why yes, I am albino.
Hi, my name is Gabrielle. I am from Louisiana, and why yes, I'm albino.
Hello, my name is Gael. I'm French. I'm 24 years old, and in my skin, I win.
Say hi, my name is Gianni. Look. Say hi, my name is Gianni. I'm from Miami, Florida. Why, yes, I'm albino. And I'm proud.
Hello, my name is Glenn Adesuwa Jacobson J, aka Gaj. I'm Nigerian, a resident in the United Kingdom, London, and yes, I am albino.
Hello, I'm Ifna from Nigeria. Yeah, I'm an albino, and I'm confident.
Hi, I'm Imani. I'm from Maryland, and why yes, I'm albino.
Hi everyone, I'm Ivy Anongo from Nigeria, and I want to show my support for the Confident Albinism movement. I want to say to all the people around the world living with albinism that it's a beautiful thing. You should never be shy of who you are, never be afraid to be comfortable in your skin, never be afraid to express yourself in public, and be confident, stay confident, look past all discriminations and what people say about you. You're special, you're beautiful, and why yes, I am albino.
Hello everyone, my name is Jan Terrell, and there's pretty much nothing really too special about me besides the fact that I do have albinism, so yes, that does mean that I am an albino.
This is Jaden. He's 10 months old. We're from Ventura, California. And yes, he is albino. Yeah, say hi.
Hello, my name is Jessica. I'm from Nigeria, and yes, and I'm Albino.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Jay Fresh, aka Joey Miller, and I'm from Longview, Texas, and yes, I am Albino. Team Albino, let's go.
My name is Joshua Cintron. I'm 30 years old. I'm a radio personality out of Brooklyn, New York, and yes, I am albino. Hey, it's Josh with the BKC Radio Network, aka RR. I just wanted to sort of explain my last video. You see, there is a really, really cool group out there called Confident Albinos, headed up by this very intelligent young lady. And they're aiming to sort of dispel the myths out there and to sort of encourage and uplift people with albinism. And I'll tell you the reason why. It hits so close to me. It's because I am albino. I am a person with albinism. I am a Puerto Rican, a Latino with albinism. I am an IT consultant with albinism. I am a radio personality with albinism. And it's something that we need to talk about, albinism. The ins, the outs, the misconceptions, the sort of realities of it, and whatever. I want to open a forum this coming January on the Stoop when we come back on air. We'll see what 2017 brings us.
What's your name?
Jaden.
How old are you?
I'm 3.
You're 3. Where are you from?
I think I'm Bruno.
California?
Yeah.
Say yes, I'm albino.
Yeah, I'm albino.
Hi, my name is Caden. I'm from New Jersey. Yes, I am albino.
My name's Kiana, and I'm from New York. And yes, I am an albino, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
My name is Khalees. I'm from Michigan. And yes, I am albino.
Hi, I'm Kennedy. I'm from Atlanta, and yes, I am albino.
Hi, my name is Kenny, and I'm from Nigeria. And yes, I'm a confident albino.
Hi, my name is Kiana. I'm from England, United Kingdom, and yes, I'm albino.
My name is Chinedu Nnamdi Nwokafor, 24 years old, born and raised in Washington, D.C., but I am of Nigerian extraction, and yes, I'm albino.
Hello, my name is Miriam Laken, that is my son. Her name is Anais Bahis. Cameroonian. Yes, she is albino. Thank you.
My name is Lee and I'm from Pretoria in South Africa. And I'm albino.
Makai Anthony.
And where are you from?
I'm from Chester.
And are you albino?
Yes.
Hello, good evening. My name is Maureen Wadavu. I am Nigerian, and yes, I am an albino and proud.
My name is Melba Brooks. I am from Phoenix, Arizona, and yes, I have
Peace and blessings. This is Morris Daniels from Norfolk, Virginia, and yes, I am a albino. Peace and blessings.
I'm Miss Deneen. I'm from California, and yes, I am albino.
Hey, my name is Tyranisha. I'm from Arkansas, and yes, I'm albino.
My name is Nolu, South Africa, Cape Town, and I'm proud and albino.
Hi, I'm Wanamel Kabari Majoro. I'm from Nigeria. Yes, I'm albino.
My name is Pasi, all the way from South Africa. Yes, I am a person with albinism.
Hey everyone, I am Robin X from Memphis, Tennessee with the Confident Albino Movement. I am an albino and I am confident in my skin.
Hello, my name is Rochelle Thomas. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. I live in Florida and I have albinism and I am albino.
Hi, my name is Sandra. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Ivory Coast and yes, I'm albino.
My name is Sheena from Philadelphia, and yes, I am albino.
Mabuhay! Ako si Sky Keyo Esalandanan. Ako ay 6 na taong gulang mula sa Pilipinas. Hi, my name is Kaikeo Esalandanan. I am 6 years old. I'm from the Philippines. Why, yes, I am albino.
Hi, my name is Steve, and I'm from Prince George's County, Maryland, and why, yes, I am albino.
My name is Taneja. I'm from North Carolina, and yes, I am albino.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tawana from New York City, and why, yes, I am albino.
Yes, y'all, it's your homeboy TJ the VJ, and I'm from Nigeria. Why, yes, I'm albino, and I'm proud.
Hi, I'm Sipsogule. I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa, and guess what? I am an albino.
Hello everyone, my name is Inselu Suzigo Dugochi. I'm a Nigerian. Why, yes, I am albino. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Vanilla Rose. I'm 22 years old. I'm from New Jersey. And why, yes, I am albino.
Hola. Hello, everybody. I'd like to send love to everybody out there. A lot of blessings. I just moved to Florida. I'm enjoying it, living a dream. I'd like everybody to know that albinism is beautiful. And yes, I'm albino. God bless. Peace.
Hi there, my name's Winter, and why, yes, I am an albino.
Hi everyone, this is Winter. She's 2 years of age. We're from Sydney, Australia. Why, yes, we are albino.
Hi, my name is Jane and I'm from Canada. And yes, I'm albino because I'm beautiful and I'm confident.
Hello, my name is St. Jonathan. I'm a singer-songwriter. A radio DJ. MC, performing artist. Dropping bottles and more. I know what you need. Basically, everything about it is entertainment. I'm originally from Cameroon, West Africa. But I reside right now in Rochester, New York. Why? Yes! I am albino. I know what you need. Head on the floor, bouncing up, drop it low. Sweat on your skin, shaking up, let it glow. Follow my lead.
Well, that was our first compilation of our recent Why Yes, I'm Albino videos. And as you can see, there was a lot of different personalities from all around the world. So. So, as this year's International Albinism Awareness Day theme is Shine the Light, we want to know what are some of the ways we can shine the light on albinism. In 2017, we still have yet to see a positive and accurate portrayal of people with albinism in the arts, literature, and the media. So far, people with albinism are portrayed as villains, demons, ghosts, freaks of nature, mystical anomalies, village idiots, etc. The evil albino stereotype or stock character is a villain in fiction who is depicted as being albinistic or displaying physical traits usually associated with albinism, even if the term is not used, with a specific and obvious purpose of distinguishing the villains in question from the heroes by means of appearance. Traits of albinism commonly associated with this evil albino type character includes pale skin, platinum blonde hair, and blue or pink to red eyes. Notably absent from most depictions is impaired vision, which most of you may know is something that people with real life has. Like, people that are albino, we have impaired vision, but they don't show that in this portrayal of being albino in the media. So, to combat these negative stereotypes and portrayals, myself and confident albino brothers and sisters is working on a collaboration with my brother, Asad Muhammad. My brother will get into the details, but it features an albino being portrayed as a positive character in a positive light. We decided to start this project because of the lack of positive albino portrayals in mainstream media. With this project, we want to further spread the message of what is happening with albinos internationally, but with a strong, positive, and realistic albino character. Some choose to avoid saying the word albino and referring to themselves as albino, but I'm taking back that word, and I am not giving the word albino, which I am, a negative light over me. Now, I would like to introduce my brother, Asad Muhammad, to discuss albinism in popular culture.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. I'd like to greet everyone in the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak. All right, my name is Brother Asad Muhammad. I'm the brother of Sister Qiyamah Muhammad. I'm 22 years old. I'm a visual artist, and I'm an illustrator. As an artist, I wanted to share some information with you about how albinism is portrayed in pop culture, and being the brother of a sister with albinism, what we've worked together to do to counteract it. As Sister Qiyamah says, in pop culture, there's a large proportion of albino characters portrayed negatively, especially in comic books and movies, as villains, weak characters, or characters that are used for evil. According to a book, Uncovering Hidden Rhetorics, Social Issues in Disguise, it says that since 1960, there have been 68 evil albino characters in film. Now, show of hands, how many of y'all seen Matrix Reloaded? All right, good. You remember the albino twins with the locks and the white suits? Right, they were assassins sent to kill Neo and Morpheus, the heroes of the movie. Now, there's a website called Skinema.com that joined forces with the National Organization for Albinism and Hypopigmentation, NOAA, to enlighten the public about the use of characters with albinism in film. Now, their site says that the Wireless Flash News, which was a daily column with entertainment content pertaining to pop culture, wrote in an article in April 2003 with the headline, "Skin Doctor Claims Albinos Being Cast in a Negative Light." Now, this skin doctor, a dermatologist, Dr. Vel Reese, he says that it began back in the 1960s and 70s with films like Albino, which the main villain was an albino terrorist. Another movie, Foul Play, one of the villains was an albino assassin. The Time Machine, the villain was an albino mutant. Now, in all of these films, the albinos were bad guys. Still goes on today, says the same doctor. In movies like Die Another Day, James Bond, a movie with an albino agent. Star Trek Nemesis, an intergalactic albino terrorist. And The Matrix Reloaded, like I mentioned earlier. Now, Dr. Reese says he just like to see an albino portrayed as a buddy character, or the chief of police for once, instead of the person who, quote, gets slaughtered at the end of the movie and everyone cheers, like those twins in The Matrix. Now, here's a real life example. All right, how many of you know about The Tonight Show? All right, any of you remember, y'all know who Jay Leno is, right? All right, so when Jay Leno was still on the show, he made a crack at albinism in his monologue in a 2003 broadcast. He was quoted as saying, albino activists are now protesting what they say is prejudice in Hollywood. They claim that movies often portray albinos negatively and as villains. When is the establishment going to give the really white man a break? It's a problem when we're insensitive to the issue. And like the book Uncovering Hidden Rhetoric, Social Issues in Disguise says, circulating a pattern of representation that they've not critically thought about. Well, Qiyamah and I are working on a project that will circulate a pattern of representation that they will critically think about to reverse the pattern and have a heroic albino character in pop culture. Introducing Nair the comic book. The main character is an African albino sister, the hero of her own story. Now, if you'd like to help us combat these negative stereotypes, then please visit our display table after the program. You can donate as little as $1 or as big as $1,000 to help us combat the negative stereotypes associated with albinism in America and throughout the world. Now, we have a donation box right outside in the lobby, so please check us out after the program. Thank you, and I leave you as I came with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Please give another round of applause to my brother Asad Muhammad. Now, I'd also like to thank him for, helping me with bringing awareness to the plight of albinos worldwide with his arts, with being an illustrator. And yes, thank you, Asad. I would like to now introduce Sister Onome, but she couldn't actually be here tonight. So I would like to bring up my mother, Sister Angela Muhammad, to speak on behalf of Sister Onome from the OAM Foundation, settled in Nigeria.
Assalamu alaikum. As my daughter had mentioned earlier, in certain parts of Africa, albinos are being killed, mutilated for body parts. And so they have safe houses set up in certain parts of Africa. And one of the safe houses, which is called Kabanga Stars, they follow my daughter on Instagram. And so my daughter had reached out to them to see if they could provide a statement. So I'd like to read their statement first, and then I will read Sister Noam's information. So this is from Kabanga Stars. We gladly support and encourage awareness and education of the albinism condition, specifically in those countries where social injustice and cultural misbeliefs add to the health difficulties that people with albinism need to face. That's why we are proud and happy to hear new voices add to a stronger message and wish confident albinos all the success in Washington. Together, we are louder so they can shine brighter. And that's from Kabanga Stars in Tanzania. And so Sister Anon Majaro, I'm going to read her bio. She is a public relations professional working with an events management company. She has a master's degree in communication, media practice, and public relations from Swansea University, and a bachelor's degree in mass communication from University of Lagos. She has worked with several radio stations and corporate public relations firms. In October 2015, she co-founded the OAM Foundation as a means to educate and empower other persons living with albinism using her own life experiences and to help society understand albinism and debunk the myths associated with it. And she also enjoys reading novels. And her statement, they actually had an International Albinism Awareness Day event where she is in Africa, and this is her opening statement. Welcome to International Albinism Awareness Day, a day set aside by the United Nations to celebrate people with albinism and to inform the world about albinism. The International Albinism Awareness Day event aims to address two key areas. The first being self-esteem. It has been observed that a good number of people with albinism in society suffer low self-esteem, usually resulting from their skin condition. To address this issue, we have a psychologist available to provide guidance and advice on overcoming this barrier, which has been a limiting factor for several people with albinism. We also have sessions for other people with albinism to share their stories as points of inspiration for others to learn from. The second area being addressed is involvement in society. We actually began addressing this issue with empowerment programs and general awareness to help albinos realize that they are a part of society. During the event, we will showcase stories of people with albinism that are contributing to society for others to aspire. Towards this day, we started an online campaign to clarify the myths about albinism. We intend to run this campaign throughout the month. OAM Foundation started in October 2015 with the hashtag Beyond the Complexion campaign. We then realized just how much work there was to do, and so the decision to join the United Nations in celebrating International Albinism Awareness Day. OAM Foundation creates general awareness about albinism to the general public, educate people with albinism about skincare and living with albinism, empower people with albinism to become members of society. We organize events and campaigns to aid these objectives. We also provide people with albinism with skincare products, which are sourced from donations. Getting involved is both easy and encouraged. One simple way to help is truly look at hashtag Beyond the Complexion and reach out to an albino. Be a friend indeed. You can also get involved by joining the online campaigns in order to increase the reach so we can curb the myths that surround albinism. Lastly, you can get involved by donating towards the skincare products we distribute to people with albinism and the events. Kindly visit our website, www.oamfoundation.org, or reach out to us on Twitter, Facebook, or on Instagram. Thank you. So now we will show a video. She actually had a video prepared, but due to technical difficulties on her end, she wasn't able to send her original video. So this is a secondary video by OAM Foundation.
In Nigeria, I'm Chimeze Judmeri Udechukwu. I'm into leadership, I'm into volunteering, I speak and I write. I'm an albino, yes. And of course, I'm an OAM ambassador. Here's me wishing all the albinos all over the world a happy International Albinism Awareness Day.
Hi, I'm Samuel Rampulo Oramali, a filmmaker from Samora Media Limited. I live, love, and breathe creativity and imaginations. Albinism doesn't hinder your intelligence. If it's anything, it actually boosts your intelligence. Live and love. Happy International Albinism Awareness Day.
Hello everybody, my name is Nzelu Suzigodugochi. I'm an OAM Forever Ambassador. I'm a fashion designer, I'm an albino, and yes, I am beautiful. Here's wishing you guys a wonderful, sumptuous, loving, enjoy your Albinism Day.
Oti the man plus, do you still have doubt about albinism? I want to let you know. Albinos don't just have content, they have character. Content takes you far. Character keeps you there. We Albinos, we are proud of it. Thank you.
Obita Basilia Ogechiku. Have you ever wondered what it actually looks like to be an albino? Wow, albinos rock. We slay. We live in a world like where everyone actually has to accept us. If you like it or not, we would always keep slaying. I'm actually the founder of Albino Forum for people living with Forum for people living with albinism on Facebook. And tomorrow it actually happens to be the 13th of June, which actually makes it the Albinism Awareness Day. Slay, keep slaying. So people would actually hear about us. Have a fun-filled Albinism Awareness Day. Thank you.
Hi guys, you've heard from my amazing team of friends and ambassadors. My name is Onomel Kabare Majero. I am the co-founder of OEM Foundation. Today I would first of all love to say that you should love yourself, you should be proud of who you are. Self-esteem and self-confidence is sexy. Have fun, hug somebody, always smile, be cheerful, hold on to your God, and have an amazing day. From all of us at OM Foundation, from my friends, from my family, we say,
Right, so I'd like to thank Sister Anom from Nigeria for sending in her bio and her video presentation featuring her friends and co-founders of OAM Foundation. Now, I'd like to present Brother Shanadu. He is a 24-year-old speech communications graduate of the illustrious Morgan State University. He hails from the richest African-American county in the United States, Prince George's County, but is of African extraction. He is the founder of X Assembly, LLC, a multimedia consultation company that focuses on African American youth in college. He has ambitions to further his education in the fall of 2018. He aspires to be a successful citizen of tomorrow, today. His greatest achievement thus far in life is meeting the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, as well as making history by bringing him to Morgan State University after he was banned for about 2.5 decades. His favorite quote is that of Pope John Paul II, "The essence of freedom is not to do what you like, but to do what is right." Brothers and sisters, Mr. Shanadu.
Good evening. How are you all doing this evening? Thank you, thank you. I guess I will start off as well by greeting you with the peaceful words of Assalamu alaikum. I am very, very excited to be here. But before I do anything, before I even get into what I have to say, can we please clap it up for my sister Kina Muhammad in the front? Because it takes a lot of courage to stand up for something that you represent and something that may, in the eyes of others, not matter. It's very, very hard to stand up for what you believe in and stand up for it fearlessly. So shout out to you, my sister. So the theme this year is Shine the Light. So upon watching this film that we're watching of the compilation of everybody giving their, why yes, I'm albino, and hearing your brother speak about how we are portrayed in film. When I was younger, when I was a lot younger, I was so concerned about my albinism because all of my friends didn't look like me. So the question was like, so are you black? Yeah, I am black, would be my response. But a lot of people didn't know, and more importantly, a lot of people didn't care. I'm curious to know the psychological effects of what that does to a young child. So a lot of people really didn't care about that I was albino. It was something that, was made fun of, It was a joke. I remember in elementary school, a gentleman took a sheet of paper and he dangled it in front of my face and said, "Hey, where did Chinedu go?" And you know, it kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. But for some reason, I think my albinism is a shield. It's a gift. It allows me to be a lot stronger as a person. It allows me to be more confident as a person. It allows me to walk in a room and not sit down. That room then belongs to me. I own that room. And that is the power for me of albinism. And it's funny that the theme, I kind of want to do a play on words. The theme is shine your light, or shine the light. I believe that's what we are. We are the light shining. That is exactly what we embody. And it really just takes us to get out of our comfort zones, and it takes allies and friends and families to be more aware and educate those who do not know. Again, it wasn't fun at first. It really, really, in my mind, sucked. I would go outside and, you know, you're burning your skin every time you go outside, and, you know, your friends, they're nice to you, but, you know, people make jokes. And more importantly, I had a self-hate portion of this too, where I made this horrible mistake of asking God, why did you make me like this? But I can tell you now that I'm 24 years old, I say, God, thank you for making me like this. As a child of God, we were all created to stand out, but God just put a little bit of extra, a little bit of something different in us albinos, a little bit of uniqueness in albinos. And I guess we're all pretty good communicators, because everybody that I've seen in that video has a good communication presence. And I think it's our job continuously, again, to get more out there about what it feels like to be albino, and more importantly, to live it. I think the problem that we have sometimes in this day and age is sometimes we want to bring awareness, but the biggest awareness we have is ourselves. We can embody ourselves as ourselves and go out in the street and let people know, this is me. You know, I love my albinism. Actually, quick story. So every time I go somewhere, let's say it's an event, my albinism always saves me, but it hinders me. So I have a visual impairment, of course, comes with the package. So I can never usually see a whole bunch of things really well. But let's say a couple of people go up and do something, let's say we're speaking or we're playing a game, then when I go up, it's like, who that little white boy? And as offensive as that may seem, because everybody else doesn't look like me, I'm always the one that they remember, and that has come to my benefit. See, I use the albinism to propel me forward. I can't let people use that to push me back, because as a black man, first and foremost, there is enough in this world that is pushing me back. And I will be darned if I let them try to use my albinism to make me feel less than, because they may have a problem with who they are, so they want to put me down because I am different. And being different is a beautiful thing. And like the minister said in Tennessee State, we are the proof that the black man, the white man, the brown man, the orange man, they all came from us. They all came from us. But we have to continue to shine that light. We have to continue to shine that light. My sister, Qiyamah, I'm in awe and shock that you would just be so wise to take on such an auspicious event like this is today, and more importantly, a serious matter. How I wish that I was thinking in that realm when I was, maybe in high school, middle school, et cetera, et cetera. But that is the thing. Your light, my light, it all comes from the central light. But we shine it differently. And I like the way you shine your light, sister. You inspire me. When I got that message from you, I was like, what? What is this? What is going on? And I looked into it, and it's now a revolution where everybody is doing it. You got people from all over the world talking about albinism because of you. It's an absolute beautiful thing, and it's an honor to be in the presence. And I think you know, I'm 24 now. I'm happy to be 24. I thank God. It's not easy. But I just recently graduated from college at Morgan State University. And when I first stepped on that campus, everybody looked at me for many reasons. I was different, and plus I had a long, huge African outfit on. They could not stand me. So they're like, who is this little white African? That's what they always called me. And, you know, when I first got there, I was a little bit nervous, and I was a little bit scared, you know, to be my natural self. Because, you know, in life sometimes we struggle with how people are going to view us. Everybody struggles with that. But on top of that, I'm like, you know, I'm a African-American albino brother who I know that these people have never seen before. So then I had a duty. I said, how now can I shape their image and shape how they view albinos for the rest of their lives based off of me? See, I had a duty, as we all do. And I think I did a pretty decent job of carrying myself up to the highest standard. And I think I shined my light through many things. Greatest accomplishment of my life, I'm going to keep saying it. It first started when I met the minister, but I completed that mission when I told him, you will come to Morgan State University and you will speak. And he did. That is the confidence that I get from my albinism. I like to do the impossible. I like to do things that are difficult. I like to do things that are a little bit harder, that many people think cannot happen. I use this as my power. I don't use it as my weakness. And I think that is something that we all must take into account into our lives. That a lot of things, even as black people, they try to say everything about us is wrong. But we need to use that as fuel because we are unique. We are amazing. We are intelligent. We are talented. We are powerful. We are God's children. We are the chosen one. I ain't going to go too deep, but we are the chosen ones. So I have a sister. She's also an albino. She's a lot older than me. So the story is, my parents came to America in 1985 after my dad got married. So fresh out of Nigeria, came to this country, don't know much of anything, just getting their foot on the ground, if you will. 1986, my dad has his first child, my brother, dark-skinned boy. My dad's like, okay, cool. Boom, got my son. Then 1988 rolls around, and then this little light bright thing pop up by the name of Neka, that's my sister. So then the doctor pulls my dad to the side, and he's like, sir, is there something your wife isn't telling you? And my dad was just as shocked. And it took some time, but he had to get to educate himself on the albinism because he knew it ran in his family, but he didn't know that he would actually see one. Well, 6 years later, he saw another one, and that was me, and that's when I came out. So, as a child, I got into a lot of trouble. I was very, very mischievous. I'm still a little bit mischievous, but they're for better reasons now. But I got into a lot of trouble, and my parents thought I was just seeking attention. I felt very misunderstood. I felt that I always had to explain myself, and that nobody understood why I did the things that I did. So I can recall my dad, you know, seeing me crying, sad, because people were making fun of me. And he told me a story. And I don't remember the story in its details, but I can tell you the moral of the story. The moral of the story is that everybody has something that somebody's going to make fun of. Everybody's going to have something that people are going to try to pick on you for and put you down for. But then he reminded me is what you choose to do with what you have. What you choose to do with whatever God gives you. What you choose to do with that, I'm going to say it again, what you choose to do with that makes all the difference. And we can see that here today, that I am standing here speaking about confident albinos, and just when I was a child, almost nobody knew what albinism was. Nobody. They said, what's albino? This one boy used to call it albino. I thought that was kind of funny, but it's like no one knew. But now you walk, I'm in the airport and people recognize me. If you don't mind me asking, are you albino? That's really, really cool. I want to hear more about you. That's what I'm talking about. But it takes people like my sister, I'm going to keep saying it, to show us what it means to be confident and stand in our truth. And that's why I am honored to be here. That's why I'm honored to shine my light, because whatever God has encapsulated in me, whatever he has put within my mind, within my psyche, I think everything that he's put externally is to complement that. I used to say, why am I not dark enough? Because God had a brighter idea for me. I used to ask myself, why can't I see? Because God gave me vision. Now there's a difference between sight and vision. Big difference. So I thank God for exactly who I am, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Never would I change it. As long as I can be confident in who I am. When I met the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in 2014, was it 15? 14, thank you. I was very, very nervous. I love to tell this story. I was sitting there, I'm like, first of all, this is my first time seeing Nation of Islam people, and I'm in Tennessee. I'm not even in here where I know people. So first they patted me down. I said, well, this is a Secret Service? I said, okay. And then they surrounded the whole room. So every time I'm looking to my left, I'm looking to my right, to my front, to my back. I'm like, I hit my friend, like, Josh, they're everywhere. And then this presence comes into the room. This presence walks into the room. And boy, I tell you, I did nothing but smile. I don't know this man. I actually had bad things to say about this man based off of what I heard. But when this presence enters the room, and that's the power of God, when a presence that God puts in the room comes in the room, it can change the hearts of man. I sat there and I'm like, okay. And then the man opened his mouth and I'm like, okay. And he's talking, and you know, Minister Farrakhan don't go for 10 minutes. He goes a lot longer than that. And I was thinking that, you know, maybe it's going to be a lecture and I'm going to get tired. I was sitting there astute, listening for every word, getting all the knowledge that this man had to give to me. And you know what? I was inspired, so I stood up and asked him a question. Because I felt the confirmation with that man in that room that this was the time that I shined my light, that was the moment that I opened my voice and say something and be heard. And I did, and it was received very, very well. He smiled, and he told me I was brilliant. I started smiling. I just couldn't believe it. And then to have the next day, I'm sitting on stage with this man, and I'm here minding my business, listening to him talk. And then he comes to me and grabs my arm. And I'm looking at him like, what are you doing? But you know what? This is what I feel. God makes no mistakes when he puts people in the midst of people who can see foresight, see what they will be the next day. Many people told me that I would be a great man. Many people told me that I would do well. But this man grabbed me, and I promised you to the Lord that I serve, I felt the power saying that what he's saying is accurate. But I had to be able to accept that. And again, that's where my albinism came in. This is all a part of my strength. And I was. And even after that moment, I felt like I need to go back to my school and become fearless and remain fearless. And I did. And we challenged my school. Boy, did we challenge my school. I know they are happy that I'm graduated because they're done with me per se. But we challenged them. And I always wondered, why do I challenge people? Why am I such a challenging person? I challenged authority when I was a child. I challenged authority when I was a teenager. I got a heck of a lot of butt whoopings because of challenging my parents and ideas and ideals, and I think it all makes sense. I have always been challenging people is because the Almighty God challenged nature by still letting me be an African-American boy, but in this albino skin. That was the challenge. So with him challenging me, it's my duty then to challenge the world and to ask questions and to stand up and to be heard and to be seen, because I was already made to be seen. That's why I'm bright and that's why I shine, because I was meant to be seen. I believe that. So when I stood up in the face of my president and said, "Sir, Dr. Wilson, Minister Farrakhan is coming to Morgan State," they made a whole bunch of mess and didn't work out. I said, "Okay, let's regroup." And all of my brothers from Baltimore, all of my Baltimore brothers, Minister Carlos, don't play with that man. We came together and we stormed that office. If I think Brother Fontaine was there, we were sitting there and my president of my institution was shook. He ain't never seen people come together like that. He ain't never seen a light shine so bright with a force ever so powerful. Ain't never seen it. And in a matter of moments, the nose turned to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is welcome at Morgan State University. See, but it got a little bit more difficult. So he was allowed, but there were so many stipulations. So after all the hard work by the grace of Allah that I put in to make this happen with a big team of people, there were people on grounds, my own people, who didn't want me to have anything to do with the event at my school. And I said, wait a minute. I traveled to Tennessee. I met this man, and I asked the school to fund me to meet this man, and they said no. So I got private funding, and I met this man, and I was inspired, and I thought that he would be able to spill unto the students of Morgan State University and re-energize the students. And they're telling me that I shouldn't have anything to do with this. And I'm supposed to be introducing this man, and they're having secret meetings like, we're not going to allow him to do this. And I got angry. But I remember what my father told me. A prophet doesn't go with honor in his homeland. He just doesn't. So I let God do his thing. I kept quiet. A lot of people who organized this thought that the SGA vice president was going to make the speech to introduce the minister. They didn't even know I was going to be on stage that day until it happened. And you know what? I had a moment where I wanted to tell the truth. I wanted to sit there and tell everybody how these people were trying to quench my light. But rather than let them take over what I was doing, all I did was use the power of God, and I shined brighter. And that is my major message for the day. As an albino, naturally, just by looks, we are a lot brighter than other people. We may have sensitive skin, and we may have a lack of sight, but we have a lot of vision. And I think God makes no mistakes, ever. But God had a special plan for us, to put us in such a situation that we then have to teach the world how to accept us, as we are teaching ourselves. On top of all the other problems that coexist in the world, whether it's being black, being a woman, etc., etc. So I say to you, great people at this great mosque, finally made it here, is that I thank God that I am an albino, because God put me on this earth to shine. And for as long as my 2 feet stand on this ground, and for as long as I have the support of my nation brothers and my good friend, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, no man will distinguish or extinguish my light. Thank you.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you for your words, Brother Sinedu. Now, I apologize a little for that our order of presenters kind of got mixed around, but for this next presenter, I'd like to present Sister Kumba Keita, the wife of the great musician and artist, Brother Salif Keita. Sister Kumba is a law school graduate with a bachelor's journalism and advertising from the University of Maryland in College Park. Mrs. Keita has previously worked for companies such as Simon & Schuster in New York, the Washington Times in Washington, D.C., and was the youngest director of marketing special projects in their history sent to the Gambia. She has also held several positions in commerce and web development in San Francisco during the rise and development of the internet. In 2003, she helped train volunteers for community for work on AIDS prevention and sustainable development in Africa. Then moved to the Ivory Coast to work as a stringer for Voice of America during the Civil War there. After being the victim of an attempted carjacking in the country, she returned to Washington, D.C. in 2004 and founded a company for the promotion of African causes through positive tools such as music, art, and culture, conscientious organizations using music to bring awareness incorporated. As a consultant, she joined the executive secretariat of the non-governmental processes of the Community of Democracies, an intergovernmental organization of democracies and democratizing country, countries with a staying commitment to strengthening and deepening democratic norms and practices worldwide in 2007. In addition to her global cause of albinism, she remains an activist for causes like malaria and has raised thousands of dollars to raise awareness about the disease and for the distribution of mosquito nets in Mali. She currently runs the Salif Keita Global Foundation, established in 2005 for fair treatment and social integration of people with albinism. As the head of SKGF, she lobbied the United Nations successfully for the recognition of the plight of people with albinism through the creation of an International Albinism Awareness Day, June 13th, which was enacted in 2015. She also has worked on the asylum cases of albinos looking for refugee status in the United Kingdom and Spain. Currently, she is working on building a clinic specializing in skin cancer in Mali. And her husband, Salif Keita, is the founder of Salif Keita Global Foundation. Please give Sister Kumba a round of applause.
Salam alaikum, everyone. Thank you, my sister, for that wonderful introduction. And for having me here today. I am very honored to be among all of you on this day. And like my sister mentioned, today is International Albinism Awareness Day. We fought very hard to have this day. And by the grace of God, this is the third annual day to celebrate albinism around the entire world. So now everyone knows that albinism is not a disease, it's a trait. It's a genetic trait, okay? And because of this, people with albinism are like everyone else, and they deserve the respect, the love, and the human rights of everyone else in this world. So this day is very important because, as she mentioned, my husband, I don't know if all of you are aware of Mr. Salif Keita, but Salif Keita is albino born in Mali in 1949 in a village called Joliba. Now, Mali is perhaps considered one of the founding nations of African history, with the great Sunjata being the emperor of Mali. And Salif is a direct descendant of Sunjata. Now, Salif was born with albinism in a time where no one in this small village knew what albinism was. And he was the only person born with that albinism. Because he was born like this, his mother was thrown out of the village. And because of soothsayers and counselors who spoke to his father, they said, you have a child who has a great destiny. You must not treat him this way. And his mother was brought back into the village. And because of that, Salif was very much protected from witch doctors, from harm, and was able to become an international musician. Now, the way he became a musician, only God knows. The way he became recognized all over the world, given awards all over the world, meeting with presidents all over the world, recognized everywhere for his talent, only God knows how he did that. Because when you realize the problems that albinos face in Africa, you know how only the hand of God could have brought him through to such a high degree of success and recognition. Because really the chances were that he would have died a long time ago. So when we think of things like that, we know that God has a special place with people with albinism. He does. And it's no mistake, because he makes no mistakes. So when a child is born to black parents and comes out with white skin and sometimes blue eyes and blonde hair, God uses the simple thing to confound the wise, obviously. And it's to show us really that he's supreme and he can do anything. He can do anything. So when I became involved with the foundation, I was, as the sister spoke, I was already very much into humanitarian causes. But when I heard about the plight of people with albinism, I had to drop everything to really raise this awareness, because many people did not know about albinism, and really a lot of advocates are needed for the cause. But I started doing so much research and realizing how widespread it is. In every culture, every country, every ethnic group, you find people with albinism. Even in animals, there's albinism. Even in plants, there's albinism. So I started really wondering what this means. What does this really mean? And I looked at the creation and I said, well, really, if all of this is so common to anything that lives on this earth, then what message can we pull from it? And truthfully, diversity is God's creation, and we're all God's creation. But when you take a person with albinism and you see someone right here sitting in front of me, I could be sitting in Mali looking at the same, I could be sitting in Japan looking at the same, and they're all looking, you know, have the same traits, you know? So it really brings us to think, why do we separate ourselves from each other when we're all one humanity? We were all created equal on this earth. And to me, albinism is proof of that God really just created every diversity for his enjoyment. But underneath it all, we're all albino. I'm albino, you're all albino. We're all coming from the same origin of creation. So, you know, really, it's a powerful message, and the world is starting to understand that albinism is not something to make fun of, it's something to embrace. And like the brother who spoke so eloquently, I'm kind of shy coming right after you because you were so powerful. You know, it's something now that is bringing a lot of positive response. We had another event going on in New York. There is a modeling industry where models now, people with albinism, are paid for their beauty. And they're paid a lot of money because of their uniqueness, the uniqueness of their beauty. And they're having a fashion show to raise awareness about it in New York right at this moment now. And that shows that it's something that we all need to embrace and not shy away from. And I chose to be here today because really when I heard of Sister Key's, her work, her dedication, her passion at such a young age, again, just like when I heard about Salif's mission, I had to drop everything. I had to be here today to support what she is doing. And, like I said, not many people, especially at such a young age, want or, even contemplate taking on such challenges to really make a difference in the world and in the lives of others. So when I see such a young sister, so brave, so courageous, so passionate about raising awareness about albinism and being so confident in her skin, it touched me so much. I said, I have to meet this lady, this lady. And really, I want you all to applaud her and encourage her as much, she deserves it. She really does. She really deserves a standing ovation for what she's doing. God bless you, my sister. You're going to go even further than this. I've been to the UN. We've lobbied in the UN. Hopefully next time, maybe you can be with us next time we go to the UN to fight for human rights with albinism, because your voice is very strong. Your voice is very strong and important. So I won't take up too much of your time, but I just, also want to add that the work that we do in Africa, the situation for albinism is a bit different over there, because it's not a question of being bullied, it's not just isolation, but there is a lot of beliefs in terms of witchcraft, and therefore a lot of children are killed very young, or they are mutilated or attacked. And this is something we're really fighting against, to change the perspective and changing the mentalities. But God is the one who can change the hearts of people so that they can understand. And we educate them so that they know the truth about albinism. It's not a spiritual thing that's happening. It's not a curse, or it's nothing from the ancestors. It's something that is inherited from parents. And that's simply it. You could be tall, you get it from your parents. You could be short, you get it from your parents. It's a trait. And it should be really seen more as a trait that you can inherit. So we're working hard. We're seeing a lot of progress being made. And there's also the skin cancer, because it's very hot. You can see how hot it is outside today. And think about that 365 days out of the year. And being there with albinism and not having access to sunscreens or sun hats, and not even knowing you need them. Truthfully, they don't even understand that they need to be out of the sun. So education, knowledge is power. So we're really working to do that. Right now, well actually earlier, because there's the time delay, we had a huge celebration in Mali where we invited all the people from albinism. They all come, they get sunscreens, they get hats, they get free food, they get music. My husband performs for them. A lot of them, don't get the opportunity to see him perform live. And we just celebrate them, and we lift them up, because they're in a society where they're not lifted up. Because also of poverty, since they cannot work, because most of the people work in agriculture, and once they do that, they don't last long. So they're considered really useless in certain points. So we lift them up, we give them love, and it gives people the idea that people with albinism are important people as well as anyone else. So I just invite anybody here with albinism to, through the sister, maybe we can communicate or bring people together. Maybe you could serve as mentors for these children over there, and just share that, they can get an education, they can be leaders. Other places in the world, there are other opportunities for them, just to give them more vision for their lives. Once again, thank you very much for having me here today. I just want to say that in the end, love is the most powerful force in this world. And loving yourself, you will attract others to love you. And no matter what you look like, none of us is the same. Even identical twins are not exactly the same. Difference is not a coincidence. It's purposeful. So we need to embrace difference and just know that what is different, find out about it. Don't shun it, but ask about it, learn about it. And when you learn about it, you can embrace it. And I'll leave you with the words of my husband. He has a song called La Différence, which is the difference, that he dedicated to all people with albinism. And the words go something like this. I am black, my skin is white, and I love this. It's the difference that is beautiful. My skin is white, but my blood is black. It's the difference that is beautiful. Thank you for having me.
Wow. Thank you to all of the presenters who spoke before me. Please give yourselves a round of applause. Now, as you've all been waiting for, the man of the hour, please join me in receiving via video conference our brother, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. You may be seated. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, the giver of life, the creator of the heavens and the earth, and all living things. He is the creator. We thank him for his prophets and messengers and the scriptures that they brought. But we also thank him for his intervention in the affairs of the black man and woman of America, in the person of the great Mahdi, Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever, for his intervention in our affairs and raising up among us a wonderful teacher, leader, guide, messenger, Messiah, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I greet all of you, my dear brothers and sisters, with the greeting words of peace. We say it in the Arabic language. Assalamu alaikum. I want to personally thank Sister Angela Muhammad who contacted me and told me about this meeting on albinism and her daughter's involvement. The moment she wrote me is the very moment that I said, I want to be a part of it. I want to come. Although coming by airplane or bus or train or car becomes more difficult for me as time goes on, because I bring a big staff with me, security personnel, and when they find out in other cities that I'm coming, they spend their money to come and make sure that we have a safe meeting and the minister has a safe arrival, a safe and successful visit, and a safe and successful return to Chicago. But through the technology of video conferencing, I can see you, and you can see me. And I'm right in my office at the National Palace in Chicago. My dear Sister Angela, Brother Anthony, Sister Qiyamah, and your brother, let me see his name, Asa. I'm very, very, very honored to be here with you and to see my precious sister, Qiyamah. Because you say Qiyamah, you say potato, I say potato. But it's actually Qiyamah, Al-Qiyamah, the resurrection. And in truth, the whole world needs mental and spiritual resurrection, which is the possession of knowledge that causes us to be aware of ourselves, aware of God, aware of what is around us, and the people need to be resurrected in their knowledge of albinism. My dear brother Chinedu, whom I met a few years ago, the moment I laid eyes on my brother, it was love at first sight. Because in looking at Brother Chinedu, I know he has suffered much as an albino. And we have in our mosque in Chicago a young girl that grew up in the MGT. I knew her as a baby, an albino. When I was in Houston, Texas, listening to the students in the class was an albino. And everywhere I see an albino, I am attracted to them because they are a great sign of something bigger than their albinism. So I want to start my little talk with what my sister before me, Sister Keita, Mrs. Keita, please forgive me, I'm not familiar with all of the names but I'm familiar with the spirit of those of you who sit on that front row. So Mrs. Kaita, thank you for your words. All of you that spoke, thank you. But I want to first pay tribute to my minister there, Brother Kadir. Thank you for hosting this at Mosque number 4 in Washington, D.C. Now, Brother Kadir, I did not know that you had a brother that was albino. And so, seeing this, knowing the importance of this, at our next Savior's Day, we want to bring the albino community from all over America to have Savior's Day with us, that we can focus on Albinism and show the world what we think about our brothers and sisters and how we embrace them with the love that Mrs. Kaita was talking about. Now, why should we love our albino family? Who are they? Where did they come from? Why are they black yet white? What did God intend for us to learn from their uniqueness? Did you know, brothers and sisters, 50,000 years ago, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that among the scientists, I won't go into the depth of this now, but one of the scientists among the 24 had an idea. He wanted to make a people close to nature, that like nature, they would be resilient. And like nature and the seasons, when you see death in winter, you look for life in spring, and you see nature is formidable. And that's why the enemy is being whipped today by the forces of nature. God is angry. So you chose a wonderful subject, shining the light. What light? Shining the light of knowledge to lift the veil of ignorance that pervades people not only on albinism, but ignorance is the worst enemy of the human family. Mrs. Kaita said, we should celebrate our uniqueness. Everyone in this room is unique. No two snowflakes alike. No two raindrops alike. No two blades of grass alike. No creature the same, though they look the same. Each one has the mark of the uniqueness of the Creator himself, and is a sign of the infinite wisdom of the Creator to create all of these wonderful living things for us to study and grow from the study of God's creatures. In the Holy Quran, it reads, if all of the seas with 7 more seas added to it were as ink, and all of the trees were as pens, you could never exhaust the words of Allah, God. The Quran says every creature is a word. And there are creatures that you know, and there are creatures that you don't know. So 50,000 years ago, one of our great scientists wanted to make a people close to nature. The original people on our planet have always been black. Black because they are the mother and father of all living things. This man wanted to make a people close to nature. So the other scientists didn't agree with him. So the master of the scientists said, well, you can't make your man here. You can take you and your family down into the jungle of East Asia, as we now call it Africa, and you can make your people there. A people that would master the life of the jungle and master all the circumstances of life. So this, Elijah Muhammad taught us, is the origin of kinky hair. Our hair at that time used to be like our eyebrows. If you feel your eyebrow, there's no kink in your eyebrow, but there's kink in your hair. So our hair was like our eyebrows, but this great scientist made us so strong, so powerful, so able to withstand any condition and survive it. The condition that we as black people, now I'm talking about the original people of the continent that you call Africa. We have survived and thrived in the midst of the worst oppression, degradation, and dehumanization that has ever been seen on our planet. Look at how the rest of the world mocked the black of Africa with our kinky hair and our broad noses and our thick lips. We were mocked by other black people. We were shunned by other black people whose noses looked like the Caucasian nose, whose hair was straight, whose face was black, but we were different. So bringing us into slavery in America to endure the worst slavery and dehumanization that has ever been practiced on any people in the annals of history. Yet we survived. And now, shining the light, we are on our way back to the top of civilization where we once were. So Jesus, the prophet, said the bottom rail is going to come to the top. The last would be first. The tail would become the head. And the scripture says, this is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our sight. Elijah Muhammad taught us the origin of the white race from the wisdom of God himself. White people cannot trace their origin beyond 6,000 years ago. The word album or albinism means white. Whiteness on our planet is a new phenomenon. But albinism shows us the greatness of the original black man, because out of us came brown, red, yellow, and white. So when you see an albino, which is a genetic trait, they are not less than any other human being. That trait brings with it characteristics that they must be careful of the sun. They are now, in some parts of Africa, mutilated, killed, sacrificed, and others reject them because of the whiteness of their skin or the blondness of their hair, and they push them to the side. We who have been rejected in white society, we should learn from our own rejection that we should never reject a fellow human being, because they all come from us. Life did not begin in Europe. Humanity did not begin in Europe. One of the great scientists of white people, Dr. Leakey, looking for the origin of man, he ended up in Africa, and he saw the bones of a man. He called him Zinjanthropus. Zinj meaning black, anthropus meaning man. That black man was 750,000 years old, according to Dr. Leakey. And Dr. Leakey said that that man, of course, had parents. So they kept searching for the origin of man. Do you know that they have not found the origin of the original man yet? It's not found in the sun. It's not found in the moon. It's not found in the stars. It's not found in the rocks. Because we are direct descendants of the originator of the heavens and the earth. This is who we are. So now when I look upon Sister Qiyamah and my other albino friends, I marvel, and I know that this creature, like myself, is from the same mighty Creator. There's only one Creator, and Allah says in the Quran, I created you in the womb. He doesn't even give that credit to your mother or your father. I created you in the womb, he says. I gave you your form. One of you is a believer and the other a disbeliever. But God takes all the credit for your creation. So, Brother Kadir, the next time you come to Chicago to visit me, I want you to ask your brother if he would be my guest. And I'm looking forward to Sister Qiyamah and the other albinos gathering the albino family from throughout America, and let's celebrate their uniqueness. They have much to contribute to the onward march of civilized people. So what we need to do is recognize that that is the Creator's creation. They had no control over that genetic trait. I'm sure your mother and father, like Sister Angela and Brother Anthony, two very dark-skinned brother and sister, would have liked to have a child looking more like themselves. But guess what? Look at Africa today. Mrs. Keita, how many Africans today are covering their bodies with bleaching cream, wanting to be white like the albino? How can they say that we don't like albinos when women today go to the beauty parlor and blonde their hair as black as their face is, and then look at our albino family as though there's something strange? They show us that they are from the people who are the origin of white skin. Now, I don't want you to run away. This is not racism. This is absolute genetic fact. One great white geneticist looked at white skin and he called it what? He called it recessive. He looked at dark skin and said what? It's dominant. Then he said, you can get the recessive from the dominant, but you can't get the dominant from the recessive. What is he saying? Sister Qiyamah can have a child, and just like that trait is in her, it does not have to be in her children. She's from a black mother and a black father, and she is black in her whiteness. So let's find our albino family. Let's love them like we love ourselves, because they are ourselves. And wherever we find ignorance, saying that they are evil or this is some sign of a curse, well, you could say whiteness of the Caucasian is a curse, but they run everything. So they're cursed, but they're wise enough to rule the planet. But today their time to rule is up. It is the rise of those of us who have been under their oppressive, tyrannical, colonialist, and enslaving rule. So let us not be like those who mistreated us in our blackness and our beautiful uniqueness. Let us embrace ourselves and embrace each other and embrace humanity. Because when you embrace humanity, you're really embracing all of yourself, because all of it springs from us. So I want to thank my wonderful sister, Qiyamah. Thank you for your strength. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for being a student of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that you've never been ashamed of who and what you are. and Brother Anthony and Brother Azad. Thank you for embracing your daughter, your sister with love and showing her that path that as an intelligent black woman in her whiteness, she's an example that we should celebrate. And I'm with Sister Keita. She deserves a standing ovation, a round of applause, and embracing her. In fact, the next edition of the final call should feature Qiyamah and Albinism. And let us celebrate the 13th of June every year by letting the world know that we understand our sisters and brothers. This is nothing more or less than a genetic trait. That's all. Now, in closing, God is the origin of all color. There are rocks that are white. There are rocks that are red. There are rocks that are brown. There are rocks that are yellow. There are rocks that are black. Some of you have rings on your finger. Maybe your husband brought you a rock. And you look at your diamond. And if you were in Angola or in Ghana or in Burkina Faso or in other African countries where the diamond is, or in South Africa, these diamonds, when they come out of the earth, they're dark. Then they're polished. They're cut. And they sell them to us for hundreds and thousands of dollars. Some of you may have a black stone ring, black onyx. Some of you who have pearls around your neck, but the most beautiful and the rare pearl is a black pearl. Some of you love orchids. That was my mother's favorite flower, but a black orchid? God is the origin of all of this genetic work, coming from original animals to one that is grafted from the original, coming from bugs and ants and creatures that are small, yet there's an original. Then you graft out of the original a non-original, but they're all from an original source. So my albino family, they are members of the original family. And wherever you see them, and wherever we go, we must be vocal, speak up loudly and clearly in defense of our albino family. So my sister Keita said, yes, I'm an albino, she said. Well, I used to be black like her. But white folks mixed in my family, and so they call me a mulatto. And the Portuguese and the Spaniards kept mixing in with the black woman, producing mulatto, producing octoroon, producing different colors out of the black with the mixture of white. So we have all of these various colors now, and the enemy uses it to pit one against the other. But I love what Qiyamah said. I am black in my whiteness. Well, if she can say that, what should I say? I am black in my yellowness. Somebody else can say, yeah, I'm black in my redness or my brownness, but the father and the mother of it all can say, I am black, like Solomon said, but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem. Celebrate yourself. Not one better than the other. No. The color of your skin doesn't make you less or more. It is your character that you develop that makes you more. It is your righteousness that you develop that makes you more. So Prophet Muhammad said, there's no superiority of the white over the black or the black over the white. The one that is most superior in the eyes of God is the one most careful of his or her duty. So Sister Angela and Brother Anthony, thank you so much for inviting me. And thank you, Brother Kadir, for allowing me the privilege to speak. Thank you, Sister Qiyamah, for the work that you have done. And we encourage you to show the world the majesty of your leadership, because we wouldn't be together like this if it were not for you. You let us here. You called us here, and we answered your call. So keep on calling us together for a cause bigger than ourselves. Thank you for listening, and may Allah bless you as I greet you in peace. And I'll take a few questions with your permission. Assalamu alaikum.
Dear brothers and sisters, are any questions of anyone for the minister? I guess all the questions have been answered, Brother Minister. Nobody has a question. Well, Allahu Akbar. Let's give our minister another round of applause. Allahu Akbar. Come on, y'all. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. All praise is due to Allah. That's right. Allahu Akbar.
Thank you very, very much.
Yes, sir. So with that being said, if we may, we'd like to just remain standing, and let's have our closing prayer. And after this is over with, brothers and sisters, you can tune in and watch the full webcast we just had at NOI.org. That's NOI.org as soon as this gets done. Let's have our prayer, please. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Master of this day and judgment upon which we now live. To thee alone do we serve. To thee alone do we beseech for thy help. O Allah, guide us on the right path, the path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed thy favors, and not the path of those upon whom thy wrath has been brought down, nor those who go astray after hearing thy teachings. Ameen. Y'all dismissed, brothers and sisters. Have a blessed, wonderful night. Assalamu alaikum.